Hi everyone. Today we're going to go over some of the column properties we have in Smartsheets and how can we set those up. Okay. So first, I'm just going to create a new sheet. So let's say this is column properties. Okay. And then open up that. And here we have the primary column. Okay. So let's say task ID one, and then just drag it like up to 8 maybe. Okay. And then let's click on that and then click right click and then edit column properties. Okay, so this is the primary column. As I have been told before, we cannot change the property of this column. Okay, so this is something, you can change the name and you can change the position, you can hide it, but you cannot delete it. Okay, so there are some restrictions on primary column, so I'm just saying like it's primary. Okay, just changing the name to primary. Okay, so here we cannot do anything, cannot edit the properties. Okay, it's going to be a text or number. As you can see right here, it's either a text or number. Okay, now the second column. Okay, here let's go to the edit column properties, and here let's rename it to text and num. Okay, and now click on the drop down and you can see these are the options we have, and I'm going to go over some of the options, some of the column properties we can set up in Smartsheets. Okay, so the very first one is text or number, then you have drop down list, dates, duration, contact list, and so on. So let's start with the first one, text and number. Okay, so I'm renaming this column to text and number. Okay, so here it says like either we can have a text or number as input. So let's say 1, then 10. Okay, it's taking numbers. Now how about text? Okay, so we can have text. One thing I would like to show, whenever it's text, it's left aligned. Okay, and whenever it's number, it's right aligned. So let's say we have 100 here. Okay, and we want to convert this to text, so just put apostrophe at the front. Okay, like this, and then enter. You see it's left aligned and it's showing up. This is the text. Okay, this is no more a number. But if we take out this apostrophe from here, it will become a number. Okay, so let's set it back again. This is the text. Now how about date? So let's say 10 2 and then 24. This is a date, but this is showing up as a text. Okay, so this column, the properties is like it's accepting most of the values. Okay, and it's either has to be a text or a number. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Go to the column properties, and here drop down list. Okay, so I'm just clicking on that. So the property is set up to drop down list. Let's change the name of the column. Okay, drop down list. Okay, and here you can see we have to enter some values. Okay, so when you do the drop down, we can, so that we can select those values, and we want to restrict it to only those values. Let's say we have high, medium, and low. So the user needs to select from one of these three values. Okay, and I press OK, and now here I go there and click on this cell. You see I have these options. So I have high, then low, so the user will have only these three selected items. Okay, let's go into the column properties again. You can see one thing is like allow multiple values per cell. So that is not currently checked in, but if I check that in, let's see what happens. If I go there and click on that, and you see now I can select multiple values. So let's say I select all these three options. Okay, and uh, click on that. Okay, so now in this drop down list, I have the option to select more than one value. Okay, so we can arrange this column up to our wish, and we cannot enter anything else rather than the choices from this drop down. Okay, because this column, as you can see, this is restricted to only these values. Okay, so now let's move into the next one. What we have there in the column properties, let's get into the date. Okay, so click on that, and then let's rename the column as date. Okay, enter. Now here I want to check one thing. You see like this is not restricted to dates. Okay, So it can take other values than the date. So if I want to restrict this column properties, I have to click on that and then press OK. And now if I press 1, you see this is just the first day of the month. Okay, I press 2, the second day of the month. It's automatically in a month, day, and year format. Okay, so let's say I want to enter 5,000, which is definitely not a date. What happens? Okay, you see it's taking the most recent month and day, and then 5,000 last 2 digits. Okay, so basically if I'm doing 2024, you see it's just taking the last two. If I enter 4 digits, okay, if I enter three digits like 100, it's not going to do anything, okay, because this is restricted and it's not going to fit in any formula Smartsheet has. So that's how you can restrict the user to enter only dates. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Right click on that and then edit column properties. What we have next, we have duration. Okay, so renaming the column property. Okay, and duration, this unit is in days. So if I have 10 days, then 100 days. How about if I go more than 365 days? What happens? 1,000. Okay, still in days. So basically, we will use this restricted column whenever we need some count on the timeline. Some we want to know how many days we need to finish up to finish up certain projects or certain activity. Okay, so this is the duration column. Then let's move into the next one. What we have contact list. Okay, so this column will be restricted to contacts only. Okay, and what we have here, I'm just going to show you. So basically contacts, as you know, like it's somebody's email address, right? So restrict to list values only. And here I have, let's say, abc@gmail.com. So you will have different users, right, in the system, and you can just have somebody assign the task. Let's say cda at gmail.com. Okay, I'm just creating that up and I add that, and then here I have the option ABC, and then you can just like notify the person, whoever is this ABC. Okay, you have that option, and we just added one more items, right, which is probably not added. We want to have, let's say, another person. Let's say cda at gmail.com, and then add to list. Now this person is add to list, right? And you can also edit that person. Now press OK, and now here you are assigning to CDA. So basically, for example, if we have some task or some activity and you want to assign to somebody, you can just use this contacts column, and you have the restriction so that you will assign the activity to some person. You can assign the activity to multiple person. In that case, you have to have this multiple contacts person, and then if you do that, then ABC and also CDA. Okay, so basically you are assigning this activity, let's say this task 3, to 2 different persons, right? Okay, so this is how we can restrict this to contacts only, and I also showed how can we add contacts. Okay, let's have another column added. So insert column to the right. Okay, and here this is, let's have checkbox. Okay, and checkbox, the column name is checkbox and the type is checkbox. Okay, and restrict to checkbox only. Click that on. Okay, so here you can basically check it out, which is true, meaning value of 1 if you check a box. Okay, so let's say I'm done with task 1, I'm clicking on that. I'm done with task 4, clicking on that. You have the user will have the option to click or check on to any activity. Okay, and you can have flags or stars. So flags is like if something is a red flag, you can do that, or you can check the favorites right here. Okay, you will have all these options. Next, move on to the next activity, which is after checkbox we have the symbols, and in symbol columns rename the column. Oh, I think I'm adding on the same column, so let's create another column on the right, and this is, let's say, sim. Okay, this is a symbols column, and I want to restrict it to. So you see, you have different options. Like, let's say we have this option. Okay, so here, let's say one item is done. I can say green. Then task 2 is in progress. I can say yellow. Something is blue. The other one is like that's need attention, right? So you can use these built-in symbols. Okay, one thing I like about it is, like, you have different options, and one is like, you have the progress bar as well. So for example, you are working on some projects, and you want to show, like, how far you are in that project. So in that case, you can put like, hey, 25% is done in task 1. Okay, the other one you are working on, you are almost there. Okay, the other one, task 3, let's say that is complete, finish. So you can have different properties, and different type of selection based on your use case. You can just select whatever you want. Okay, so you can see all these are available. Okay, and I'm not going to go into any more after this, but you can see, like, you have some more options like date created, created by, modified, all these things. So you can play around with that. And basically this gives us the option to kind of like have the expected input from the users, if we set up the column properties. Thank you very much.